Sure. I mean, I think it's pretty important for people to, first of all, work out what a defensive asset is. And I think definitions definitely vary in the industry quite widely.
Mm,
Um, in my mind, we put in sort of submissions to various, government and other processes around this because there's a lot of debate in the super industry. But I agree with ASIC's definition of a defensive asset. So if you look on the ASIC Money Smart website or an ASIC's website, they say a defensive asset is cash or government bonds. And actually, I think that's pretty close to the truth. Like cash is defensive because when the market falls, it holds its value. And then bonds generally do one better and actually rise in a falling market. That's what makes these assets defensive. Gold, I put in the same bucket as cash. Gold is,
mm,
the ultimate sort of original form of cash. I think these days there's a lot of other assets that some people consider as defensive. Often they're assets that have, a high income stream and low growth. So it might be, hybrids, emerging markets debt, other, yield type assets. In my mind, then they're not really defensive assets, although they may not give as high a capital growth as, shares or, typical growth investments. The reason in my mind why they're not defensive assets is that when markets fall, and particularly during, very bad market episodes like we saw in March 2020 or in the financial crisis, these high yield type assets very much, move in the same direction as shares. So they don't provide any level of protection or very little levels of protection. So while they may, not have a high correlation or they may not move in the same direction as shares when markets are doing well, they do move in the same directions when markets are performing poorly. And that's exactly when you need defensive assets in your portfolio. And so in my mind, these aren't defensive assets. And I think there is a lot of confusion out there because people, wrongly think, something with a high yield that doesn't have a lot of growth is defensive.